Here we go. Oh, I get to introduce you to my favorite student. Are you ready? Here's my favorite student. Is the screen frozen? No. Anne Serkey. Anne Serkey gets everything right. Think about it. Some of you will get the joke and it'll take a while. Okay, a few more figured it out. Some of you are, I still don't get it, so quietly explain it to the person who doesn't. Right? Anne Serkey. Anne's.
Oh my god.
I told you, the jokes are not going to be at a high level. They're going to be low. Okay.
I do not get it. I don't get the joke.
Anne Serkey. Anne Serkey. Here we go. So as far as I'm concerned, I can either give you the name. Yeah. You can mark however you want to mark. Act like an adult. Whatever works better for you. So she asked, do we need a red pen? Mark it in any way that you want to so that you know. And really what I want you to do is if you make a mistake, get a little grumpy with yourself. Make a mental note of it. I'm not getting that wrong again. Because I guarantee on your actual test, I'll give you a shorter version of this chart. Not as many examples, but I'll probably put 2 or 3. As far as I'm concerned, I can give you either the name, the symbol, the number of protons, the atomic number, or the number of electrons when it's an ion, and you can tell me everything else from there. One of those pieces of information, and I kind of sprinkled that through this. So, little wind breeze out there. If you see somebody at the doors, just kind of let them in, because it's going to blow it shut right now. Li. Okay. 1 mark for each blank. Lithium. Atomic number 3, yes? What? Number of protons. This is, if you want, ask me, what's the one thing I want you to come out of this unit with? The number of protons is what determines the atomic number and the element. If we change the number of protons, it's no longer lithium. We'll be doing that under radioactivity. So 3 protons. Number of neutrons, how do I figure that out? Well, now I look at the atomic mass, and I think the atomic mass of lithium is 6.9 or 7, right? Minus the number of protons. In your head, without using your fingers. This is why I said a week and a bit ago, if you have a calculator, like a cheap one, you can bring it. I won't let you use your phone as a calculator on a test because it's too easy to cheat, but bring a calculator. Or if you're comfortable doing 2-digit subtraction in your head, you're okay. Number of electrons, 3, if it's not an ion. If it's an ion, that changes. Number of valence electrons. Somebody asked Mr. Dewick, how do you figure out the number of valence electrons? You do count on your fingers. Look up. You find lithium on the periodic table right here, and you just start counting to the right. 1. Oh, it has 1 valence electron. Number of electron shells. Now I count down. So I go 1, 2. It has 2 valence electron shells. Yep. You did, and you forgot, but now you remember. Like, I'm hoping you're going, and it'll stick. That's the goal of this. Period. Well, period is the row down. So lithium is in the second period. Period number 2. Family, that's the vertical columns. Lithium is in the first family. That family has a special name, the alkali metals. 1 mark for each of those. Sorry, I lied. Half mark for each of those. Read my own instructions, Mr. Dewick. In the next one, I didn't give you the symbol. I gave you the atomic number 12, which is magnesium. Okay, I could have looked over my shoulder at the clock. So the symbol is going to be Mg. Magnesium. Mesa just figured out how we're telling time. What's the atomic number? 12. How many protons? 12. How many electrons? Also 12 if it's an atom. How many neutrons? What's its mass?
The mass is 24.
So 24, round out, minus 12. This one does have the same number of protons as neutrons. They mostly don't. So don't memorize, oh, protons and neutrons are always the same. No, that's a fluke. You'll notice lithium had 1 extra neutron. You're not that important. How many valence electrons? Count over from the right. So magnesium is going to be 1, 2. How many electron shells? Count down from the top. 1, 2, 3. What period number is it? Phone away, please, kiddo. 3. Okay, but still, I can't tell that from a distance, so leave it face down. What family is it? Second column, yes? If I make a mistake, let me know, because I'm kind of going from memory. I have my periodic table buried. Neon, it's on the far right. Is it element 12? 10. 10. Okay, so atomic number 10, and its symbol is Ne. How many protons? 10. How many neutrons? What's neon's mass? Is it 20? Take away 10, also 10. So this is one of those that by a fluke has the same number of neutrons and protons. Most of them don't. Don't memorize that. 10 electrons when it's an atom. How many valence electrons? So again, Jaden, I'm going to count from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is that valence means outer shell. That's the fancy word for outer shell. This is that 2, 8, 8, 18 rule that we talked about a week ago in our notes as well. Some people memorize that, but Ariel, I'm showing you, you can get it from the table without memorizing it as well. It's a good shortcut. So 8. How many electron shells? What row down is it? What period is it in? I said row. What? Yeah, row. Second? So 2 electron shells, second period. And what family? Number 18. Also called the noble gases. We used to call them the inert gases, and then we found out, oh, actually, argon and xenon, argon and xenon, I think, we can force them to react. Didn't know that. Why does magnesium have what? 1, 2, 3. There's magnesium. By the way, you got to be careful. Magnesium and manganese kids always get mixed up, and so do I if I'm not careful. 17 protons. Hey, that means its atomic number is also 17. Element number 17 is chlorine. So Cl, chlorine. Yes, used in swimming pools. How many neutrons? What's chlorine's atomic mass? 35? So I would go 35, take away 17. Is it 35 rounded off properly? So 35 take away 17 is what? Is it 19? I don't think it can be 19. What is it? That's what I'm asking. Was 35 rounded off properly? Is it? What is it actually on your table? 35 point what? 35.5. Which rounds to 36. Yeah. Round off properly. So 19. Number of electrons, 17. Number of valence electrons, is it 7? Number of electron shells, is it third row down? So it's in the third period, and it's in family 17. That one I have memorized because it's a halogen. Ooh, what if an atom has 13 electrons? Well, if it's an atom, that also means it has 13 protons. Thank you. Which means its atomic number is 13. So, what is atomic number, element number 13? Aluminum, so Al. Or if you're British, aluminium. Aluminum. Good. You can start marking from number 2 and then just mark number 1 on your own if you get it out and your pink periodic table. Number of neutrons. What's aluminum's atomic mass? 27? So 27 take away 13. Is it 14 neutrons? No? Okay, now I got to check. Aluminum. Yeah, 14 neutrons, right? Yeah. Someone said what? I was worried for a second. How many valence electrons? I count. 1, 2, 3. How many electron shells? I count down. 1, 2, 3. So it's in the third period. What family number is it? By the way, have you noticed the numbers are right here in black? So it's family number 13. I don't actually have to count. It's family number 13. Good. 38 protons. This I have no idea. I've kind of memorized the first dozen or so elements, but after the strontium, which is SR or ST? SR? Strontium. Atomic number 38. 38 electrons. I have no idea what the neutrons are. Is that a question, Oren, or a stretch? Okay.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
What does it, I forgot my glasses again, but
Okay.
what does it say for number of protons for aluminum?
Aluminum, number of protons, 13. Number of neutrons, 14. Strontium, element 38, has a mass of 87.6. Sarah Ashley, what would 87.6 round off to if we round it off properly? 88, you say. There you go. So it's going to be 88, take away 38. Oh, that I can do in my head. 50 even, yeah? Number of valence electrons, 2. Number of electron shells, no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one has 5 electron shells. So it's in the 5th period, and it's in family number 2. So to give yourself a score out of this chart is out of 27. Take a half mark off for each one you got wrong is probably the easiest way to do it. That's why it says half mark each. So, or the other way is just add up everything you got right and divide by 2. You might have a decimal. Okay. Okay. Number 2, identify the elements whose Bohr model diagrams are shown below. So they're telling me it looks like the number of electrons. So if I have 4 electrons, means I have 4 protons if I'm an atom. Beryllium, I couldn't remember it. I knew it began with a B. By the way, you can choose, if the question doesn't say and you just want to write the symbol and abbreviate, go ahead. If it doesn't make you write out the whole name, I'm good with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Element number 6. Is that carbon?
Yes.
Carbon, by the way, is special because it can either gain 4 electrons to get a full shell, or it can lose 4 electrons to get a full shell. Each one of those is just as easy. Carbon forms more compounds on its own than the rest of the periodic table combined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Is this neon? It's got a full valence shell. This looks like it's neon plus 1. Is that potassium? Sodium? That's what I said. If you were really good, you would have said, nah, it's not potassium, Mr. Dewick. By the way, Sadie missed my favorite student. Don't tell her the joke. She'll have to get it next quiz.
Does one please just tell me?
No, and see how I'm tormenting her? This is how I roll. Absolutely. Hey, what'd you say element E was? Is it chlorine? Cl? And holy smokes.
Calcium.
Is it calcium? Did you actually count each electron, or did you count the number of shells to know how far down to move and then just add 2 to the right? Because the quicker way to do this, so if you're looking for a shortcut, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 shells, so it's going to be in the 4th row. It's got 2 outer electrons, so it's 4th row 2 over calcium. You don't have to do it that way, but there are lots of shortcuts on the periodic table, so that's all good. 1 mark for each of those, so this question is out of 6. An element has 76 protons and 114 neutrons. What will its atomic mass be? How'd you get that? 76 and 114 is 188? I don't think it's 180. 190, I think. Now, if you went 76 protons and you looked on the periodic table, you would find osmium, its official mass is 190, but sometimes it can also form an isotope.
Because I was looking for it and there were all a bunch of different ones. Isotopes and stuff, and I was like, I
Okay.
put one in.
Can you give yourself a clear score out of 34 right there?